Okay, so Brotato just got an update before the DLC releases, which I didn't even know was a thing until today. I play the game pretty regularly, but I don't keep up with updates or anything like that. I just come on and play because it's a very easy game to play and kind of get lost in. Um, so yeah, today I noticed that there was an update, and I looked at the Steam page, saw that there was a DLC coming up, so I'm actually quite excited. But so 4 characters were released in this update, and there was a ton of item balance changes that I personally don't care about. Like I don't need to get into the game that much, um, but I'll play with new characters. So I unlocked them all, and I'm playing with the first new character, the baby class. So you level up 150% harder. So it takes 150% more material to level up. It allows you to have 24 weapons, similar to the, I forget what that other character is called. That lets you have 12. But instead of stats upon level up, you get a weapon slot until you get to max weapon slots, and then you can start getting the stats again. So typically that'll be around wave 20 if you get good XP bonus items like Scar, which I actually was very lucky to get in my second run. My first run, you'll see at the start, I reset right away because I was not thinking about. I completely forgot about you needing to level up to get the weapon slots, so I was rolling for weapons that I didn't need. So the second run is much better. So you start with, I think, 10 harvesting, and weapon items are a little bit cheaper. But this character is unbelievably broken. So like the early game, you might be a bit hard, but if you choose a weapon like stick, which I am, which is already on its own a really strong item, you shouldn't have any issues, because by wave 2 you'll have 2 sticks, and you basically will level up at least once every round after. So you'll see here I get my first Scar. I'm debating on buying it because I think, no, actually, I was thinking XP items were reduced like 70%, but it's actually just 150% harder to get levels up. So if you buy a Scar, I'm pretty sure you still get that full 20%. So eventually it'll become easier to level up. It'll become normal, and then more if you just keep buying those XP up items. So I got really lucky in this run. You'll see that I got a ton of XP up items. But this is my first run with the character, and I I think it's gonna get nerfed pretty quick. I get some pretty decent items to start with, but I think you could just run into this character. Yeah, I think you could start with this character, just choose stick, and win so easily. I ran through the shops. I didn't think about it. I didn't like look for many stats. I just bought what I thought was good for my overall defense. Really, you need to focus on defense for the most part, because if you just end up getting 24 sticks, even if they're all level 1, you're gonna have unreal amounts of damage. And I think this character is cool because it doesn't give you that minus damage percentage like the other character has when you're holding multiple weapons. So you can have 24 weapons, no damage reduction, and just be crazy strong. So here I get my second Scar, so already we're, and third, so already we're on our way to getting normal XP gain. But yeah, you can have 24 weapons and have no damage reduction, so your damage is already through the roof if you're holding strong items like the stick that doesn't really need a ton of damage to scale super hard. You can just have 24 sticks. Another thing that I think might be interesting with this character is that you can hold 24 weapons, so you can have 4 different weapon classes for the bonus stats. Like having 6 sticks or 6 primitive weapons gives you, I think, 15 HP. But then you can go and get 6 ranged weapons, and you can get 6 precise weapons, and you can get 6 I don't know, like ranged weapons. I don't know what other ones there are. I usually stick to ranged, or I usually just use sticks, to be honest. They're just so broken. But yeah, it's kind of interesting if you go on an endless run, or if you go just for regular Danger 5 or a regular 20 round playthrough, you can get a lot of bonus stats just by having those different weapon classes, which I think is really cool because then you don't really need to focus on anything. If you're lucky enough to find those weapons, then you kind of just build you don't need those level up stats because you're getting them all through your weapon classes. So I think there's a lot of ways you can play this character, and there's not really any downside. Like, yes, it's harder to level up, but I went super negative in the luck this run and had 0 issues. Just in the shop looking for some regen because that's probably the hardest thing to get, or that's the most crucial thing to get with this character. I don't think any weapon classes have that regen, but the sticks give me the HP I needed. They're already strong enough that I didn't really focus on getting damage until a little bit later. Even my armor and dodge at this point is in the negatives, and you just maybe need some movement speed and then you're good. The cheaper items helps a lot because, I mean, that speaks for itself, right? Cheaper items help a lot. In the early game, you might not get as many materials because you only have 1, 2, or 3 weapons, whereas in a normal run, you might have 6 by wave 3, 2 or 3. But the cheaper items also helps with you getting more sticks or more weapons overall, and allows you to try and upgrade it more because you're not going to get 24 maxed out weapons in a normal run unless you get insanely lucky. You know, it's just not going to happen unless you get an anvil really early. But even then it's hard. Like, I think I ended with only 21 out of 24 sticks, and 3 of them were level 3. But you don't need them to level up because stick is a strong enough weapon on its own that you don't need a ton of damage scaling or higher levels. Like an SMG, if you got all of those to level 4, that would probably help out a lot, but this character is just so insane. I think the way they nerf it is by giving that damage reduction, even if it's a couple percentage or maybe a speed reduction just for having that many weapons, because right now I don't see a way that you can really lose any playthrough with any weapon, to be honest. I think this is probably one of the most easy characters to get a D5 win if you haven't got one yet. I can't really say enough for how broken it is. We're on wave 8, we're not having any issues. I think by now the XP gain is pretty much normal. And I haven't thought much about any items in the shop. I just looked for some green stats, chose them, and carried on. So there's not really much more to say than that. I probably leave it at that, and I'll come back towards the end of the run to say my goodbyes.
When you feel it's hopeless, when you think that you lost, oh, I will take your hand and we'll rise up from the dust. Oh, here we go, 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 let us heal and grow. You won't be alone, we're unstoppable. Don't be afraid to show what we're going for. This is what we know. Here we come back to life, still breathing, standing up, everybody's gonna see it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. Even if we fall, we will rise up and we follow the path that we believe in. No, we're not gonna stop until we reach it. Oh, all you need to know is that we're holding on. We rise up from the dust and claim our throne. Empty hearts and neon lights. They're playing with my mind. Gotta get out of here tonight. Oh, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone. Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. Get me out of now. To where we started out. La 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 la. Oh, oh. Get me out of broken hearts and starting fights. Turning truth to lies. Gotta get up, stop wasting time. Yeah, I wanna run off and fly. And I'll tell myself it's fine to be alone. Just to find somewhere that finally feels like home. Oh, oh, oh. I hate all this overthinking. Oh, 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 oh. The more I swim, the more I'm sinking. Take me to a world of silver. No more heartbreaks, tears, painkillers. Take me somewhere unfamiliar. Bring me back to where we started.
Okay, so we're finishing up wave 19 here, and you can see there that we're getting the stats now because the weapon slots are maxed out. But you can also see that I have only 19 out of the 24 items. Now, obviously every run's different, but I think I got pretty lucky. I have like minus 60 luck, and I still got a ton of crates. I got a ton of loot aliens. But even with my luck, I don't see many runs going that differently unless you just have the worst luck ever. This character is just so strong, excuse me, that like I just don't see how you can lose unless you get the worst shops imaginable. Obviously movement speed or movement like matters. I don't think I have insane movement, but it's good enough to where I didn't really have to think about this run and still easily won. You can see wave 20, we killed the elites no problem. We had a couple early elite waves as well, and those were also no issue. Surely some of the other elites like Mother maybe might be more difficult, but I don't think I would have struggled in this run, nor would I think you would struggle in your run if you use sticks. I haven't played with any other weapons, so I don't know. I'm sure there's some weapons that just won't synergize well, but stick is it's good. It's a good weapon on any character, and it's insane on this character, especially without the penalties of the other character that lets you carry 12 weapons, especially without that damage penalty. So I would say you focus on, if you're doing a stick run like this, I think you focus on some regeneration, dodge, armor, just defensive stats. The the damage comes on its own, like it scales very well by itself. You can see I have a good amount of damage that I started focusing on that pretty late, but only have 13 armor, only have 26 dodge, only have 15 speed, and no issues. You'll see this is me trying to die, and I do, but I almost killed both elites. If he didn't charge or if I dodged that, we win easily. Like I wouldn't have died the rest of the wave. And this celery tea actually seems like a really good item. I'll be excited to use it. Um, but yeah, super strong character, very fun. Hopefully you enjoy it too. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.